Nope.
Okay. All right. Hi, Tiki George. Okay. So this is the first time that we've got Tiki in here, and we're gonna let him out. So he is in here. Hopefully he's not gonna jump over it. Right, Tiki? And then we are still also going to change his name from Tiki to George. Hi, Tiki George. Hi, silly boy. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Hi, you're okay, George. Hi, silly boy. You're okay. You're okay, Tiki. You're okay. You're not going to get left behind. You're not going to get left behind. It's okay. It's okay. So I took out little George, which I renamed from Tiki, and look who he is. Hi, silly boy. Hi, silly boy. Look how close my face is to him. Hi, silly boy. Outside walking, and look who we have. It's George. Hi, George. Hi, Mr. George. We're outside in the big, wide world, George. Good job. Good boy. Good boy. Just a matter of connecting to him and letting him understand that we, the humans, understand what's wrong. There we go. You're okay, silly boy. There you go. You're all right. Right? You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Good boy, silly. 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 Okay, let's go inside. You did it. Good job. Let's go back. Okay. Hi, George. Good boy, George. Good boy, George. You're okay. You're okay. No. You're okay. You're okay. Hey, silly boy. You're okay. You're okay. Hi, you're okay, George. No. Okay, so here's a big risk. Here you go. Here's my hand. You're okay. You're okay, George. You're okay. You're okay. Good boy. Okay, come on, get up. Come on, George. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Come on, up. Get up, George. Good boy, George. Good boy. There we go. And we're just a little bit on the corner, so I'm going to pull him over here a bit. So he, as you can see, he's shut down, doesn't trust. So we're just going to pull him over here a little bit. You're okay, George. There we go. And this is how close we are. He is literally 4 inches away from my body. So, of course, I have a concern that he will be quite reactive like he was when day one. But we're just going to let him. Oh, look at that. Nosing in. Okay. Anyhow, it's, again, we need to get away from medication. We need to get away from, restrictive collars that hurt dogs, like prong collars and shock collars. To heal their dysfunctions, we don't go and throw things at them and expect or demand that they respond by, a shock collar, because that's just unfortunately not conducive to a dog that is emotionally shut down. What we need to do as a society as well, is really viscerally evolved. And of course, because I have real world experience with extremely dangerous dogs, exceeding 150 pounds, that, you know, that can kill me and all that stuff. Not discounting it. I'm just saying that that theory that I live by and willingly work with dogs with significant issues is the fact that they all have the same type of base emotions, issues, and this is why they can be healed without medication. It's called doing the work. It's called having experience. It's called having knowledge. It's one thing to sit in a classroom. It's one thing to get a certificate. But at the end of the day, it's about really doing the work and having that dysfunctional issues addressed, connecting viscerally with the dog and using intuition. And heightening your intuition. Hi, silly boy. See, there's no reaction now. Heightening the dysfunctions is not what we want to do by the motivation. He actually turned around and sat with his bum to me. You're okay, George. You're okay. This is a huge risk. So now he does have some territorial issues, guarding issues, whatever you want to call it, that generic, you know, catch-all phrase. But it's not the fact of calling it a catch-all phrase like, you know, guarding, territorial. It's the dysfunctions that he has, that every dog has, and it's breaking down the dysfunctions into the base issues, the primal issues, and that's the ability to understand the dysfunction that a dog has. And that's how we can correct them without resorting to the easy, you know, prescriptions, the medication. First we're medicating our children, and now we have behaviorists medicating dogs. So when does it end? Well, it can end when, you know, we start changing the way people are. So we're going to sit down here. So now, as you know, he's quite reactive and territorial. So I'm going to get him to come down here, George, and I have his lead, which he's changed. So my concern is sitting down with him as well. Okay, so gentle, George, gentle, gentle, gentle. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. I am not going to touch him, but I am going to sit down with him. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. So we're going to move. You're okay, George. Good boy, Mr. George. And this is how close I am to him. So it is quite a bit difference, big difference. I did have him on the bed earlier today. So here's the situation. You're okay, George. You're okay, George. So there we go. Again, it is doing the work and paying attention to the dog themselves, as opposed to, you know, not doing the groundwork, as opposed to not making the effort or time to connect to the dog and really understand on a behavioral perspective what exactly is wrong with the dog. So a dog like him who was feral and he was going to be killed 3 days ago is now on his way to a stability. And that's what we're going to work with him on this as we move forward. Unfortunately, his future is not clear, but we will still continue to work with him on it. I mean. Have George here, and I'm going to I have the lead, and I'm going to put the lead down on the ground, and I'm going to pet. You're okay, George. You're okay, silly boy. You're okay, silly boy. So I'm going to actually get up, and he is a flight risk, so I'm going to let him go. Okay, and here we go. There you go, George. So George is going to walk around. So this is an experiment in the sense, not necessarily an experiment. I mean, it's not a big deal because he is in a fenced yard and he's not going to be able to get out because there's no holes for small dogs either. So he can run around, he can do whatever he likes. He can go around and do anything he wants. He's off on his own, as you can see, and we will see if he knows his name yet. George, come here, George. George. Hi, silly boy. Good boy, George. Good boy, George. George. Good boy, silly boy. Oh my gosh. And guess what else I can do with George? Are you all ready? So 3 days, 60 hours. George, wait, George. George. So I'm going to go over to George and we're going to stop him. Hi, silly boy. You're okay. So he's going to let me pet him. I still don't have his lead. And so 60 hours later, we're going to do this. Okay, come on, George. I gotcha. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Good boy. So we have George in my arms. There we go, silly George. Silly boy. You're like a little purse dog compared to Walter. You are so adorable. So George is letting me pick him up. And I can hold him. He was on my lap last night. The rescues involved are all aware of his progress. And yeah, so it's all good. Mr. George. Say hi, George. Hello, Mr. George. So that's where we are. Sorry, I'm so bagged and tired. I've had 3 hours of sleep in 60 hours. Just trying to fast track George. And I'd like to thank Rebecca Foley for donating. You're my first donation this year, actually, because I don't normally take donations. So I really appreciate it. It'll help out with George. It'll help out with George and with the other dogs. George, especially since he's here for free. You know, I just needed to help him. And